Are y'all not tired of this? Are y'all not tired of this? Are y'all not tired of journalists or whoever's responsible for the Ballon d'Or? Are y'all not tired of them constantly proving that they don't know anything about ball? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Ballon d'Or top 30 nominations list dropped yesterday. I know I'm hella late. I didn't have time to record right yesterday. Okay, to start off, we have Jude Bellingham. Now, this is probably like one of the most controversial players on this list. Most casuals, when I say most people, I'm referring to casuals. Most of them think that Jude Bellingham was completely dead last season, that he was just straight shit in the bed. That couldn't be further from the truth. This guy, aside from Mbappe, was Real Madrid's best player. Now, would I say he deserves to be like top 10? No, I don't think so. But to say that he's not one of the top 30 best performing players last season, that's a mad thing, I can't lie. Because remember, two of his best performances last season. First, the Copa del Rey final. Yes, Real Madrid lost, but this guy had Pedri chasing shadows. He was easily Real Madrid's best player on the pitch. Him and Mbappe. And also, the elimination game against Atlanta. I don't see where the Bellingham hate is coming from. People, you know what's so funny? Real Madrid fans, y'all Madrid fans, y'all was pushing for, y'all don't even know who y'all best players are. See, this is how I know, bro, Real Madrid fans, they dead don't got any ball knowledge. Y'all was pushing for Fede Valverde to win the Ballon d'Or, only for him not to make the top 30. Hey man, anyways, let's move on. Number 2, Ousmane Dembele. This goes without saying, he's one of the Ballon d'Or favorites. Probably is going to win the award. Nothing really much to say here, completely deserved. Just like the next one, Gianluigi Donnarumma. By far the best goalkeeper in the world this year. And then after that, we got Desiree Doué. Now, purely performance-wise, I think Desiree Doué should probably be like 20 to 30th. 20 to 30th. But knowing how the Ballon d'Or is usually given, like based on accolades, well, first of all, he plays for PSG. They just won the quadruple. How are you going to argue against him? Secondly, he put up one of the best Champions League performances ever. Like, this is definitely top, like, the only ones I can think of in recent memory that are better than this is Courtois in 2022, Ronaldo in 2017, and Messi in 2011. After that, I find it hard to find another Champions League performance that clears the one that Doué put up. So yes, completely deserved. Duke Denzel Dumfries. If y'all wondering why I'm calling him Duke, it's because his first name is Denzel. Duke Dennis's first name is also Denzel. Why is he on? My man's only, now don't get me wrong, I've been following Duke Dumfries. The first time I took notice of him was in the Super Coppa Italia or Coppa Italia semifinals when they played Atlanta, and he scored 2 goals, one of them being that incredible bicycle kick. Duke Dumfries is basically what Man City fans think Virgil is. A goal-scoring fullback. But let's be real. The only reason he's on this list, and you'll see this is the case for most players, the only reason he's on this list is because of one match. The 2 matches against Barca, that's the only reason why he's on this list. And you'll see later on the list, there are a lot of Inter Milan players who I thought were much better than Dumfries this season that didn't even sniff the list. Now, yes, Dumfries just put up one of the best 2-legged performances in Champions League history, but the rest of the season, he wasn't there. That's because he had to go up against Gerard Martin, fam. He had to go up against Dahaiwan. He had to go up against number 35, as Carl would say. But the moment he goes up against a real BBC demon, he goes up against Nuno Mensch, we saw what happened. His fries, he got turned into poutine, fam. Serhou Guirassy. So I'll actually pair this guy with the next guy I have on this list, Victor Gyökeres, because for me, they kind of fall in the same category. As if you saw my first vid I ever dropped on this channel, my Ballon d'Or rankings for last season, the 23-24 season, you would know how much I rated Guirassy and Gyökeres. Like, for me, I think there was 3 guys that I did not know how they got snubbed. That was for the 23-24 season. And that was Guirassy, Gyökeres, and Lunin. Guirassy, people forgot. Last season, I'd even say, he had a better case for the Ballon d'Or last season than he did this season. Because last season, he finished second in the European Golden Shoe. Not many people know that. He finished second just because the margin between second and first was so high. Like, Kane scored 36 goals. I mean, come on now. But this guy scored 28 goals in the league alone. And this was in the Bundesliga. And before y'all say, oh, Farmers League hype, fam. Farmers League hype. Bundesliga was much tougher than the Premier League last season. Let's be real. 23-24, the Bundesliga was tougher. Not only that, I think this guy was definitely robbed of African Player of the Year last year. They gave it to Lookman. People were saying, apparently Hakimi was more deserving of the award than Serhu was. So yeah, I definitely think, but hey man, the second leg against Barca, when it comes to scoring useless hat-tricks, Guirassy is that guy. But I just want to put on the record. Y'all can go check my Twitter. I'm going to link it down in the description. I have been writing for Guirassy since March of last year. Anyways, Victor Gyökeres, kind of the same situation. I also thought he should have been in the Ballon d'Or. He should have been one of the Ballon d'Or nominees. Actually, no. Let's go back to Guirassy. I remember when the nominees were announced, this guy quote-tweeted it on some subliminal bullshit. And then I remember people were saying the Ballon d'Or has fallen off so much that we got guys called Guirassy thinking they should have been nominated. Y'all just some dick. Y'all only rate Guirassy because he plays for a big team now. But I'm telling you, he was much better last season. He was way more deadlier last season than he is this season. So anyways, Victor Gyökeres, what he did this season is basically the same thing he did last season. And I thought he should have finished top 20. So, valid. That's valid. Erling Haaland. Now, this is a player, just like Bellingham, he's one of the best in the world. In terms of, when I say best in the world, it's completely different from best performing players. Like for me, the 5 best players in the world, when I say best, I mean purely individual quality. It's Yamal, Haaland, Bellingham, Vinny, and Mbappe. Not in that order, in any order. But the 5 best performing players in the world is completely different, which, I'll bring up when I do my Ballon d'Or rankings. But Erling Haaland, listen, I didn't think he was that bad this season. Yes, for his standards, he wasn't that good. But that's the standards of, one of the best goal scorers we've ever seen in football. So I think top 30, to say he's not the one, then again, to say he isn't top 30 is just completely, outlandish. Now, this is the time we gotta separate the art from the artist. You know what was going with Hakimi off the pitch? I prefer not to speak. I don't know who started this. Why are people pushing Hakimi for Ballon d'Or? This is just listen, I know we're going through a fullback revolution. Achraf Hakimi, to say if this continues, I genuinely worry that he's going to win African Player of the Year over Salah, over the guy that bagged 47 GA in the Premier League. Hakimi's going to... Listen, in terms of Champions League, I hear it. He was top 5 best performing players in the Champions League. For me, that was Yamal, Rafinha, Dembele, Vitinha, and Hakimi. He's in that top 5. So, I think he got a goal contribution every round of the Champions League. So yeah, he definitely deserves to finish top 10. So podium is complete top 5. No. He doesn't deserve it. But still, valid nominee. Harry Kane, he won Bundesliga best player in the Bundesliga, scored better goals, you can say was Bayern Munich's best player. I'm not mad at that. Nothing really much to say here. Kvara, once again, came up big in important matches. I won the treble. There's going to be a lot of PSG players on this list because obviously they won the treble and completely valid. Though there are some PSG players that I think PSG should have had more players on this list. Lewandowski. Now this is another guy where people were saying, I don't think it's a bit iffy. Top 30, I hear it. He's comfortably top 30, but he's not going to be in that upper echelon of your top 15s, your top 20s. He's going to be in that 20 to 30 range, which is completely valid. Alexis McAllister. Now, first Liverpool player on this list. This caught me by surprise. Honestly, I'll be real. I don't think Alexis should be on this list. I don't think he should. And there's another player that I'll be talking about later who I think should have been on this list. And not a Liverpool player, another player in the Premier League. But for me, I didn't think McAllister was Liverpool's best midfielder. I didn't even think he was in the top 5 Liverpool best players. For me, our top 5 players was obviously Mo, Van Dijk, Trent, Alisson, and Gravenberch. I thought Grava was our best midfielder. So I don't know why how Maka snuck into these conversations. Why is he even here, fam? Why is he... He got exposed. I'm so glad that Lautaro Martinez got exposed for the fraud he truly is. The whole world found out Lautaro is not that guy. He's completely riding off the hype from last season. Here's the thing. He's not even the best striker on his team. How did Marcus Thuram... I mean, I actually kind of understand why Marcus Thuram is on this list because, you know, the allegations. It's not even allegations. There's video footage of him beating one. Lautaro Martinez, like I said, much better Inter Milan players. Why is he here? He is closer. I'll be so real, bro. Lautaro Martinez... You heard from me first. Lautaro Martinez is closer to Mehdi Taremi than he is to Marcus Thuram. Lautaro Martinez is closer to Mehdi Taremi than he is to Marcus Thuram. So, yep, shouldn't be on this list. Mbappe, I mean, 40 goals, European Golden Shoe. Nothing really much to be said here. Completely deserved. Scott McTominay, or as he would say, Scott McFratima. Now, this is an L for Manchester United. Hey, United fans, he left y'all club and he instantly became a Ballon d'Or candidate. Y'all are the problem. Stop admitting that the players are the problem. You guys, you are the problem. So Scott McTominay, completely deserved. Was he the best performing player? For me, he's not the best player in Serie A. For me, I think Rafael Leao, individual quality-wise, purely, he's the best player in Serie A. But best performing player, I mean, I hear it. He came up big in all the big matches in the regular season. Nominees. No. I'll be talking more about Nominees in the future vid. He was much better than Hakimi this season. I mean, in the Champions League, it was Hakimi, but overall individual quality as a player, consistency throughout the season, it was definitely Nominees. He put Salah in his pocket. He put Lamine Yamal in his pocket. He put Bukayo Saka in his pocket. He put Denzel Dumfries. He's putting your favorite right winger in his back pocket. Now, first of all, first time I heard of João Neves, I always thought he reminded me like Joey from Friends. And I don't know if it's just me, but y'all see it. Do y'all see it? Anyways, João Neves, completely deserved, but I'm not going to be talking about him in the Ballon d'Or. I'm going to be talking about him and the Copa Trophy and Golden Boy. So, Copa Trophy and Golden Boy, two completely different awards. Apparently, you have to be under 21 before like a certain date, before like August, to be eligible for the award. And João Neves, he was 20 for the whole season. So here's the thing. If Lamine Yamal, I think the next best guy that should win the Copa Trophy, I think João Neves should win the Copa Trophy if Lamine Yamal can't. Because he was by far one of the best midfielders in the world. For me, his defining moment of the season, those 2 legs against Arsenal where he completely outran the midfield. He was, man, wesh. It was amazing what he was doing, bro. João Neves, one of the most underrated players in the... It's because, you know what it is, yeah? It's because the way he plays. It's because the way he plays. People forget that he's under 20. Because they're looking to the Doués, the Yamals, the younger generation that are playing like, you know, very, very flary guys. But I think it's because people forget that João Neves is that young. Yeah, he's just a year older than me. It's mad things that he's doing. So yeah, I think Ballon d'Or completely deserved. I think Copa Trophy, if Lamine Yamal can't win it, it should definitely go to João Neves undisputably. I got Michael Olise. Is he wearing earrings? Okay, no, he taped them all. I thought he was dead wearing earrings on the pitch. So Michael Olise, definitely one of the best right wingers in the world this season. Nothing much to say. Completely deserved. Cole Palmer. Now here's the thing. I completely understand because he played his 2 best performances were both in finals, the Conference League and the Club World Cup finals. But here's the thing. I don't even think that he was the best player in the Club World Cup. And I'm just realizing I didn't put this player at the end when I'm going to talk about players I think should have been nominated. But I'm going to say it. Where the fuck is Moise Caicedo? And this is coming from a Liverpool fan. Y'all know Liverpool fans usually we're supposed to hate Caicedo. It's crazy because 23-24, I genuinely thought I was celebrating because I thought I was laughing at Chelsea fans. We pump faked y'all into spending 100 mil on Caicedo, and given how he was playing that season, that was a big. I thought that was a big brain move from us. Endo completely outplayed Caicedo last season, but come around to this season, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Caicedo, he's playing like he was one of the best midfielders in the world, and I think he was Chelsea's best player. Throughout, Chelsea's best performing player. Not best player. We all know Cole Palmer is Chelsea's best player. But Caicedo is Chelsea's best performing player this season. And I definitely think, I don't know if they dropped the Premier League team of the season, but I think he gets in there comfortably. He's definitely better than Gravenberch. He's definitely better than I'd say he's the best DM. He was the best DM in the Premier League last season. So yeah, I don't think I understand, but he was ghosting for like 5 months of the season. And if he was ghosting for that long, Pedri, yeah, this is the best midfielder in the world. Nothing really much to say. It's pretty obvious. Just like this next guy, Rafinha, one of the Ballon d'Or favorites. Come on, bro. Declan Rice. Now, a lot of people are saying that Declan Rice shouldn't have been on this list. I mean, you know what? Yes, I hear that there are better midfielders, but we all know, like, this is further proof that most of it is based on, like, 1 or 2 games of the season. Obviously, those 2 legs against Real Madrid, where I think, he was bound to match in both of those games. But if Declan Rice is on this list, then there's another guy that I think should definitely be on this list, which, we'll talk about later. Fabian Ruiz. Nothing much to be said. I don't think he was he was very good this season, but I don't think he was like one of the better PSG players. I don't think he was one of the better PSG players. And I even said it on my TikTok. If Spain end up winning the UEFA Nations League, please do not push Fabian Ruiz for the Ballon d'Or. Honestly, even last year, bro, Fabian Ruiz had a significantly better case for the Ballon d'Or than he did this year. He was arguably the best player at the Euros last season. But this season, you could say he was like more consistent and had a much bigger role I don't know, man. Fabian Ruiz completely deserved. I think 20th to 30th is probably where he's going to finish. But I'm just saying, this guy was the best player at the Euros last season and didn't even sniff a nomination. This just shows that these journalists, they just pay attention to trophies. They don't even look at the performances. Mo Salah, yeah, easy. Virgil van Dijk. Now, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the Ballon d'Or discourse at the beginning of the season, but around like October or November, the 4 candidates for the Ballon d'Or at the time was Rafinha, Yamal, Salah, and Van Dijk. And I said to myself in November that if Liverpool win the whole thing, if they win it all, if they win the Champions League and the Prem, then I definitely think that Virgil van Dijk should win the Ballon d'Or. Because that time of the season, that was like when like Mohamed Salah was starting to slow down. He was about to reach that rough patch that he does usually around December. And Van Dijk was actually like carrying us like bare on defense. Like we all saw the clip of him and Trent. He was always having to have to carry his ass in defense. And I definitely thought for most of the matches that I saw Liverpool play, that Van Dijk was the one that was carrying our back line. Fictitious, why is he here, fam? Why is he here? Now this is a case where it's like, I'm gonna sit on my little comfy bed here. You see, now this is a case where it's like, yes, Vinicius Jr., like I said, he's top 5 best players in the world. As much as I hate the guy, yes, you could say the hat trick against Borussia Dortmund, but what happened in the Champions League? Real Madrid didn't win shit. In all the big games, he was choking. Why is Vinicius Jr. here? Get this guy off the list, fam. Vitinha, I'm not gonna lie, Vitinha he's a very mid player compared to the other world-class players. He's very mid. But the only thing that's carrying him is performances, like I said, top 5. I think he was top 5 best players in the Champions League. And obviously winning the UEFA Nations League, that definitely holds some weight. What I'm not trying to see this guy anywhere near a podium, fam. I'm not trying to see Vitente near a podium finish. Florian Wirtz, I mean, big up to Flo. He's playing for our team now. But I didn't really think he was he never really had many memorable moments. And it's not like a case like Erling Haaland where his name is or his pure ability, his individual quality is enough to carry him into a Ballon d'Or nomination. I don't think that's the case. So, I don't think he should be here. And finally, Lamine Yamal. That's nothing really. It's Lamine Yamal, bro. Come on. Now, there are some players that I think should have. I was completely shocked that they didn't make the nominations. Like I said earlier, Moises Caicedo, even over Alexis McAllister. Caicedo was clear of Alexis McAllister last season. Shoot, I would even put Bruno Fernandes ahead of Alexis McAllister. Now, starting off with, I guess you could say number 2. Alex Isak. My man won Newcastle their first trophy in 70 years. My man ended up being, he's one of the best strikers in the world. No, not one of the best strikers. I mean, he is, but he's the most informed striker in the world. How is he not being nominated for the Ballon d'Or? How is Vinicius Jr. getting in over Alex Isak? Number 2. This is what I was completely shocked, because I thought Alessandro Bastoni was Inter Milan's best player last season. He was carrying their defensive line. He was like, I don't know who said it before, but Inter Milan, that team is full of scrubs, I'm not going to lie. There's only one Bastoni is the only world-class player on that team. Only guy I can comfortably call world-class on that team. So I'm just wondering to myself, how did Lautaro and then Duke Dumfries get in over Bastoni? Second guy, Jamal Musiala. Now, this is kind of like, I don't think this guy is like guaranteed top 20, maybe 20 to 30. If you ask me, like top 30 best performing players or top 30 best players, because you're basically saying that Musiala was not one of the most top 30 informed players last season. That's basically what you're saying. And it's not really a case where I think it's guaranteed. It's more of a case where I'm seeing Donnies on this list where I would comfortably have Musiala ahead of them. And now, the next guy that I'm going to talk about is actually a guy. He plays for a club I hate. So why am I writing for this guy? Well, it's because, like I said, Declan Rice, there's a player on his team that I think if Declan Rice is going to be nominated, I think this guy should be nominated. And that's Bukayo. Come on, he's Arsenal star boy, and I get that he was injured for like 2 or 3 months for a large part of the season. But bro, Cole Palmer basically this season he basically acted like he basically was injured for 5 months. He was ghosting for 5 months. He was completely anonymous for 5 months of the season, but only came back because of the Club World Cup, glorified Champions League fam. Glorified Champions League fam. What are we doing? So yeah, and also can't forget about like what he did to Real Madrid, what he did at the Bernabeu. And in terms of individual quality, I've always thought that he was like on the same level as Michael Olise. And we saw what Olise did this season. And also, Ebre Eze, he brought Crystal Palace their first ever trophy. I know Crystal Palace is not a big team, but like you're not going to tell me that he's not like one of the best like top 30. It's the same case with Musiala. I don't think it's a guarantee, but there's other Donnies on this list. Like honestly, I think I would have Ebre Eze on this list over Vinicius Jr. I would have Ebre Eze on this list before Duke Dumfries. I would have Ebre on this list over over Fede Valverde, honestly. So yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. In conclusion, the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Who the fuck cares about that word? Anyways, with that said,